Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be jumping into 3 ways that we can manage flashbacks today. So if you have PTSD or trauma that you're dealing with, you know how big of a deal it is when a flashback comes. So we want to help you better be able to ground and figure out how to manage those. So I'm going to jump into that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you subscribed. And if you want notifications when new videos come out, if you like these topics and you want to see more of them, then click the little bell notification thing and it will let you know when new videos come out. All right. So here are 3 tips that I have for managing and coping with flashbacks. Now this isn't extensive. There's tons of different things and different skills that we can use, but these are 3 things that I find really helpful. And if you want to skip ahead through these, then I'm gonna list the times below that you can just click through if you want to, so check that out. But these are things that I find really helpful with my clients. So, excuse me. So the first one is to get physical, to get moving. Now stick with me here if you automatically hear that and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Stick with me because I'm going to talk about different ways that we can do this and make it fit for you. So I work a lot with trauma, and now mostly I work with clients online, so I don't do this one with clients as much, but when I was working in offices and in treatment centers, I would utilize this a lot because doing something physical can shake us up. We're running with that memory and we're lost in that emotion. We want to shake that up and interrupt it, right? So with a lot of my clients, we would literally get up and walk around outside, or we would throw a ball. The ball thing I find really effective. It's so simple, but it really works. So sometimes we would just play catch, and they could sometimes keep processing their trauma as they were doing that, right? Because it takes a level of being grounded into your body to play catch, or else it's gonna hit you in the face, right? So you have to be present. So that is why that's such a big deal, because you have to focus on what's going on. You can't be completely gone, or else you won't be able to play catch. So if you have somebody that you can play catch with, that's a really big one. But you don't have to have someone. You can throw it against the wall. You can bounce it on the floor, right? It can be a tiny little bouncy ball or whatever you want. That can be something that is really handy and I really find super helpful. So try the bouncing a ball thing out, really. I know it sounds simple or whatever, but try it. Some people, going for a walk is enough, getting outside is enough. For some people that really doesn't feel safe when they're super triggered and super overwhelmed because you're in that flashback so much. So we have to work into that, or maybe that just will never feel safe, and that's fine. We have to cater these to you. And that's so important, because this isn't like these fit you or else like you can't be helped. No, we have to find the ones that fit your needs. And if something doesn't fit you, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. That means that just isn't the right thing for you. We have to find something else or adapt it. So sometimes when it's a little bit lighter, going for a walk can help, but sometimes that feels a little bit too much. So another way that we can use this is to do the opposite of what we want to do. So when you're feeling triggered and overwhelmed, the survival instinct is to tuck and crunch and cover. You want to hide, you want to like go in. So we want to counter that. Stretch, get bigger, shake it off, move, like stick out your tongue, make faces, literally shake it up and move. And that sounds weird, it can look really weird if you're just alone like doing that, right? But it seriously does help, because we're interrupting and we're fighting the instinct to run and hide and just to let that memory take over, right? So anything you can do to shake that up, literally, like shake, dance, stretch, get big, because it wants to make you small and it wants to make you hide. But if you do opposite of that, it literally can counter that emotion and that memory. So these are all things, and as we go through the next 2, I'll show you kind of how to weave and build on them too. But these are things that you could work up to. So maybe you're in your room and you want to hide and you want to cover and you feel that coming on, and you just start with like stretching a little bit and feeling that and getting back into your body, and then maybe you shake a little bit. And then maybe you can walk a little bit in your room. Then maybe you can throw a ball. Then maybe you can get outside and feel the sunshine and walk around. Because as each step goes, you're feeling a little bit more grounded and a little bit more into your body. So that's kind of an example of how you can layer these and keep working on them until something helps and until it gradually gets better. Because it's not an easy fix. I wish things were easier and when I could give you easy fixes, but because we're dealing with such complex things, it does take some work and some time and some continued effort to get through them. So those are all my examples of doing something physical and sort of shaking things up with your body and getting back into your body. The next one is to orient yourself somehow back into the moment, the present, the room, right? And you may have heard some of these, but the idea of this is we want to come back here now. So right now I'm in this room. I'm safe. I'm actually okay. So how do I come back here and not in that memory? Well, I can look around, pick a color or pick something and count it. So I count 5 blue things in this room. I'm counting the little, what are they called, on a fan, right? The little things on a fan. I'm counting the ceiling tiles. I'm counting the floor tiles. I'm counting the corners, things like that, because that puts you back into thinking about where I am now and it grounds you back into where you are now. So you can do that in all those different ways, colors, counting, that kind of stuff. I also sometimes have people describe like how something feels. So like you put I have a blanket right here. You wrap a blanket around you and you describe how it feels. Like, how does the texture feel? What does that feel like on your skin? Like, describe what that feels like and really try to ground into what that feels like. And it can be anything. It could be a table. Describe how the table feels. I like to use the ground too. How does the ground feel? Are you standing on carpet? Is it soft? Is it cold? Are you outside? Can you feel the dirt underneath your feet? Can you feel the grass? Describe that, because those are all grounding things that bring you back into the moment. That's the whole idea, right? Behind all of these, that we don't want to run back in the past, because the past sweeps us away and takes us into that flashback. So we want to stay here. We want to come back here. Sometimes I do this with like little rocks, like flat little rocks that a client will keep in their pocket, and when they're feeling triggered, they'll take it out and they'll feel it, they'll describe it, they'll play with it, they'll use it to come back, and it's something that they always have, right, if they carry it in their pocket. So orient yourself into the room and into the present. I also sometimes have people prep these things ahead of time. So if you're really triggered in the moment, it can be hard to remember this stuff, right? But if you prep ahead of time and you're like, this is my list, these are all the things I can try. So when I am triggered, I'm gonna pull out my list and I'm gonna keep trying these until I feel better. And sometimes it can be helpful to have somebody else involved in that too. Like, I'll have people message me and they'll be like, I'm super triggered, I don't know what to do. So then we'll pick some of these things and they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try these and I'll let you know. So then they'll try them and then they'll rate where they're at. They'll be like, okay, well maybe we need to try a few more. Maybe we need to keep working. And we keep doing that until you start to feel that calm and that coming back into your body. You can do that with a friend as well, or you don't have to have anybody to do this with. The telling somebody just makes you a little more accountable and actually doing it, right, and following through. But you don't have to have anyone for any of these things. You can do this on your own. But you have to keep trying and keep working at it, because it's not a quick fix. So I really wanna drive that point home, because you do have to keep trying. So the last one I'm gonna go over today is temperature change. So this can be used with hot or cold, but I find cold to be most effective. So I'll have clients put ice cubes on their wrists or on their neck. On the back of their neck is really helpful to kind of ground. Maybe a cold towel on your forehead or on your chest, chewing ice or drinking something really cold. Those kind of things bring us back. It calms our nervous system and it puts us back into the now. So that's something simple. It doesn't take a lot of effort. If you're at home and you have ice, grab some ice and try that out. You can try with like a cold bath or a cold shower or a cold like foot soak. Those kind of things work too. They just take a little bit more effort than just grabbing ice cubes, right? But ice cubes are an easy, quick fix. And sometimes heat is helpful after. Like I found that after someone grounds with ice and they really are back into the moment and they're breathing and they feel a little better, then they can soothe with tea or with heat. But it almost is like the cold needs to shock your system back into now, and then the heat can kind of soothe and relax. So that's kind of how I've found it most helpful, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what will work for you. You have to test it out, right? So all of these things can be used alone or they can be layered. And I really think that it's best to have as many as you can available to you wherever you are. So if you're at home, a lot of these will be easier. But if you are away, they also can be used. You can describe anything where you are. You can feel something wherever you are. You can feel the ground wherever you are, right? These can all be things that you can utilize, and we have to figure out how they work for us, okay? So test them out, see how it goes, make a list of all the ones you want to try, all the options that you have, and then pull that list out when you're triggered and try them. And try a mix of them, try layering them, try starting small, like stretching or just moving a little bit and then working up into other ones, or try just feeling something, feeling a rock or feeling the ground and describing that, and then try moving up and see how it goes. Let me know how it goes, how you like these, if they work for you. Also, if other things work for you, because this list is not extensive, there's tons of things we can do. This is just a few that I find helpful. So if you want to share other ones that you found helpful, comment, let me know. That would be great. We can kind of get a bigger list going. And if you have any questions, you can comment. I'll also leave my website and my email in the description. So if you want to reach out to me or you need help or support or anything, you can reach out to me and let me know. All right, bye guys.